On Yemen, according to the authorities in Sana'a, they speak about real famine in Tihama area. Also, they speak about that systematic destruction of food warehouses. 638 of them were destroyed so far. 820,000 farms have been destroyed totally. So there is a war trying to starve the Yemenis.
Nizar, we're well aware of the humanitarian situation, the tragic humanitarian situation in Yemen, which we've been flagging from this podium for weeks and months. Just recently, whether it was Stephen O'Brien or Ismail Sheikh Ahmed, have called for the free flow of humanitarian aid into Yemen. And in addition, obviously, a stop to all the targeting of civilian infrastructure, which includes farmland and anything having related to food. Our colleagues at WFP have been trying to get more food in. The pause allowed us, I think, to move some humanitarian goods, but we need to see more access.
Yeah, going back to Yemen, when would the United Nations, declare Yemen as a crisis zone or emergency zone, given that they have dengue, they have cholera, and they have famine in many areas? Pictures coming from Yemen show that there is real starvation akin to that which we witnessed in
I mean, I think
many decades in Ethiopia.
We have, I think no one has disputed or said anything to the contrary that Yemen is a humanitarian crisis. As you mentioned, just cholera, for one, that we're very concerned about the increase of cases of cholera. Clean water trucks are being sent into the impacted areas. As of October, only 45% of all health facilities in Yemen remained fully functional. If that's not a crisis, I don't know what is. So I think we have talked about the humanitarian crisis in Yemen over and over again.
But we hear more here and everywhere else of the United Nations system talking about Aleppo 10 times more than we hear about Yemen. Why aren't you in this case coming?
Populations that are suffering are populations that are suffering. No one should rank them in terms of what is more important. I think we have talked a lot about Yemen here. We talk about Yemen almost every day. We flag what we're doing. We're also keep putting engage in political discussions, put calls out for cessation of the violence. Just like in Syria, those who have their finger on the trigger need to remove that. We need to have the guns fall silent in order for us to get humanitarian aid in, let alone to start rebuilding the country.